There are two completely different brain systems behind how rappers create, and most people don't even realize it. When a rapper is freestyling, brain scans show increased activity in the medial prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain responsible for self-expression and creativity. At the same time, activity decreases in the dorsolateral prefrontal cortex, which controls self-monitoring and overthinking. So what's really happening? The brain is literally turning off its filter. That's why when rappers freestyle, it feels effortless. The flow is natural, the rhythm is locked in, and the emotion is immediate because the part of the brain that normally stops you to think is dialed down. But that comes with a trade-off. When you reduce self-monitoring, you also reduce your ability to organize, refine, and to build complex ideas over time. Now compare that to writing. When a rapper is writing, especially without a beat, the dorsolateral prefrontal cortex becomes more active. That's the system responsible for planning, structure, and critical thinking. So instead of reacting in the moment, the brain is building ideas, connecting concepts, and refining meaning. That's where layered storytelling, metaphors, and deeper themes come from. But writing has its own weakness. Because you're engaging that analytical system, you lose some of the natural rhythm and the spontaneity that comes from improvisation. So this isn't really a debate about freestyling versus written. It's about what your brain is prioritizing. Freestyling optimizes how you say things. Writing optimizes what you're saying. But here's where it gets more interesting. There's a third type of artist, and they don't all do it the same way. Take Jay-Z, for example. He's known for not writing his rhymes down. But that doesn't mean he's just freestyling randomly. He's composing in his head, building lines, checking structure, and refining ideas, all internally before you ever hear them. That's internal editing. Now compare that with Tupac, who did write constantly, but what made him different was the speed. He generated ideas and committed them to paper almost immediately, moving from thought to structure with very little delay. That's rapid external writing. On the surface, those look like two opposite approaches. One never writes, and the other writes everything. But under the surface, they're solving the same problem. They're both combining the same two brain systems, generation and refinement. The difference is where it happens. For one, the editing happens internally. For the other, it happens on the page. And this lines up with what creativity research has shown us for years. Creativity happens in two phases, generation and refinement. Freestyling is generation. Writing is refinement. And most artists, they get comfortable in one and never fully develop the other. But high-level artists, they don't just use both. They've trained themselves to move between them so fast it feels like one process. The real difference between rappers isn't just style, it's how they manage their mind. Some rely on expression, some rely on structure. The ones who master both know exactly when to stop thinking and when to start.